hello, 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 hello. Hi, 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 hi. Hello, 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 hello. I hope that you are doing well. Welcome back to the university of ASMR. It's great to see you. How's it all going? Happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. If you're watching this on a Sunday, as I am recording this on a Sunday. So we have a bit of a different setup today. Very different setup actually, because I'm gonna lift this up. Yes, I've got you right here. I've got you right here in the palm of my hands. But today, the reason we have a different setup is because we're going to be overlaying, voiceovering a certain video that I've made for you. I'm quite proud of it. But I thought, what could be more relaxing? What could be more relaxing? What could be more relaxing in this late autumn season? What could be more relaxing than watching some footage of Amsterdam, where I live? It's such a beautiful city at this time of year, a temperamental city as well, as you're going to see. But I thought that this would be a really nice opportunity and to just see how beautiful it is, and I can lay over, explain things. And since this is the University of ASMR, I'm going to tell you all about the history of Amsterdam, or at least of the areas that we go to that I know about. But first, coffee. Okay, and in this coffee cup, the University of Amsterdam, or the University of ASMR. Wow, that was loud. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut that out. Some more coffee. But yeah, before we begin, how's it going? How's it going with you? Are you going well? I hope that this video can be a nice little relax for you. A nice opportunity. So what I recommend you doing right now is join me to watch this footage of Amsterdam together that I filmed yesterday. And what you're going to do is you're going to get nice and snug on a chair, or maybe even better in bed. And then you're going to get on the left of your table, there's going to also be like a piping hot pot of tea that just magically appeared there, right? It was just there the whole time. And you're going to take a little sip every time I drink my coffee. And then, this is such a magical tea, this magical elixir. It's going to make your whole body relax. Your whole body relax, right? And then you're going to snuggle in, do the thing where you put the blanket like under your feet like that, so that they're nice and warm. And then we're going to watch this stuff together. Alright, are we ready? Let me just get the video up here so I can narrate along. I think it's going to be in the background of me if I can get my technical skills ready. I'm like, Amsterdam. Okay, so I'm hitting play now. Part one. To the market. Yes, today we're going to the market. And here we are in the first suburb. So this is the suburb that I live in. And this is called the Hout Havens. That means the wood port. Okay, I can pick this up actually. I can be like a real YouTuber. So here we're going past some children playing. There are a lot of children always in these neighbourhoods. Like, the Dutch are really good at building very livable neighbourhoods. And this neighbourhood we're in now, it's very new actually. Like, it's started in the 90s, but this section right here, this is probably like only maybe like less than 5 or even 3 years old. And the building that I live in, it's not even a year old. But this is very green expanse, right? And now the way, I'm on my bike. That's why we're going like quite fast. Okay, so now we've entered Amsterdam, Spandammerbuurt. So this is the suburb that my suburb was built adjacent to. And now we're just biking along, and you can see all the beautiful autumn colours. And that's the whole of Amsterdam right now, I swear to God. Like, it's just so cold. It's really pretty. That's actually why I have my orange shirt on, by the way. Because I thought it's a bit of a Dutch, not autumn, but also like a bit of a Dutch vibe, you know? And we're on these beautiful Dutch bike paths, which are fully separated from the road. Okay, so we got a green light here. Oh yeah, and now a bit of history of this suburb that we're in right now. So Spandammerbuurt, and the Zeeheldenbuurt. It's the same thing. Zeehelden means sea heroes, or like navy heroes, and the reason it's called that is because a lot of the streets in this area are named after famous Dutch admirals, like de Kuip, I think he was called, and like Abel Tasman, the guy that discovered Tasmania, or at least the governor. I think Van Diemen is the guy that commissioned the trip. So I'm filming this on my phone, right? This was yesterday, and it was such beautiful weather, and you're not supposed to use your phone on a bike in the Netherlands. So then I biked past this police station, and I was a bit like, but it was okay. I didn't get caught the whole time. Crazy. I know, crazy. Okay, so off we go. And this is like a big canal that separates like another suburb on that other side, I believe. Or it might still be the same one, I'm not sure exactly. And up ahead you can see a railway bridge, and then there is a big train coming across right now. Do you see it? It's yellow and blue. Oh yeah, and this architecture, this is also super interesting. But this whole area is it's famous for Amsterdam school architecture, Amsterdamse school architecture, right? Which is very specific from the earliest 20th century kind. Oh, and here we go to the right. Oh yeah, and you get such a good view of the autumn colours here. Yeah, look at that. I mean, that's just Amsterdam, right? Isn't it beautiful? And also this bridge that's coming up now, this bridge that's coming up on the left, this is also like a Amsterdam school style bridge, and they commissioned a lot of these. And then I go to the left, under the tunnel. Okay, so it's a bit hard for you to see what I mean, but we'll get there. There's a lot to explain. Okay, and just a reminder, we're on the way to the market. Okay, so now we're going over another bridge, more water. Netherlands, Amsterdam, it's just, there is water everywhere you look. And to our right, that's a park. That's called the Westerpark. Fun fact about the Westerpark is that it used to be much smaller, and behind it was, I think, a gas factory or something. That's now been expanded to include the park. Okay, so I let this bike go past, right? And then there are these people, I think they were actually talking English next to each other, because you hear a lot in Amsterdam. There are a lot of expats. It's a very international city. It's basically bilingual. It's kind of crazy. It's a pity if you're trying to learn Dutch, but it also makes it very easy to live here. Okay, so now I'm going behind this person. They both have swap visas, which is like a bike share company where you pay a monthly subscription and you get that bike. Very interesting. Okay, and now we're at that next slide, and it's like a little bike symbol, as you can see. And look at the architecture. Isn't it just beautiful? Okay, now we got our green as well, and off we go. Okay, so what you can see, what's interesting about this area that I know for history, but to educate you about the University of ASMR, is that this is called the Haarlemmerpoort, like the gate of Haarlem, or the gate to Haarlem, rather. So this whole area, this used to be where Amsterdam ended, right? When the city was much smaller, hundreds of years ago, and this faces Haarlem, the city, which is where that part of New York is named after, which is why, as you can see, it's called the Haarlemmerpoort. Poort means neighbourhood. So now we're facing this road. A lot of red, a lot of red. Also, look how fucking sunny it is. It's so sunny, it's so sunny, it's so sunny, it's so sunny. I'm just gonna cough. Okay, that definitely has to be edited out. Okay, so now we're behind a car and we're along our first official, real, beautiful Amsterdam typical Dutch canal. Isn't this wonderful? Oh my god. Okay, so it's beautiful and sunny, and this area, actually, I think that this used to be more warehousey, because I don't know if you can see, but on the left, these are more kind of like warehouse-style buildings that are now, of course, it's gentrified a lot and like extremely expensive. Yeah, perhaps I should mention that, but Amsterdam is extreme housing crisis right now. Okay, so now we're on this beautiful bridge, and I get off my bike, and then I'm looking out over the water, and it's just incredible. Oh, those are houseboats, by the way. Isn't that nice? Isn't that beautiful? And then we look up that way towards the other end of the canal, and this bridge, this is the border to enter the next suburb. And this suburb is where our market is located today, right? This is the Jordan, Jordan. Yeah, it's also an incredible neighborhood with a really interesting history, okay? So the thing about this neighborhood is that it used to be a working class neighborhood. Extremely working class neighborhood, extremely traditional Amsterdam neighborhood that is now very gentrified, as you can see from our biking through here. It's beautiful, don't get me wrong. It's just not really real anymore, I guess you could say. But I love it. I love going there because I'm probably the problem. But I think it is beautiful, even if it's a pity. Okay, so we're biking along along Jordan, and another interesting fact about the Jordan is that it's the suburbs that's behind the famous canal ring of Amsterdam, and so someone told me that it was built behind there, as like those are the workers that basically built the canal ring, and then they had their housing behind it. So in that sense, it's also extremely close to the center of Amsterdam. Look at this architecture, isn't this incredible? Isn't this so beautiful? I always am so wowed. Like, Amsterdam is disgustingly well preserved as well. Like, coming from an Australian city, it's really incredible how well their heritage preservation is really good. Okay, so here I go, and it's just Amsterdam. People are walking around. It's Saturday morning. Everyone is just vibing, basically. Which is really nice to see. There's a bit of street art there, and these are like a little bit more modern housing, but still like fairly old. I'm just gonna have a coffee. Have a sip of your tea. Okay. And now I think I took a left here. Yes, I took a left here. By the way, this was not like an established route. I just kind of wandered, and I was riding with my phone like this. And I was like, it was cold. Let me tell you, my fingers were like white. Well, they are white, but like they were whiter. Okay, and up ahead, see that tower that it's covered in blue scaffolding? That's the Westerkerk, the Western Church, the Church of the West. There's a north, south, east, and west church in Amsterdam, and we're actually going to see the north and the west church today. The north and the west, the north and the west, or west, depending how this video comes out. The Wester Church, the Westerkerk, is one of I think it's the tallest church steeple in Amsterdam, so it's a source of pride for people in Amsterdam West, where we're going. But it's not my favorite church. It's not my favorite church in Amsterdam. My favorite church in Amsterdam, we're about to see, it's the Noorderkerk, the North Church. Much more, I would say, working class church for the people of the Jordan. A bit less fancy, and I just love that. It's just more real. Okay, so now we go round, and off we go down. Look at that beautiful blue sky. Okay, so we're really going into winter here. As you see, all these trees have lost their leaves entirely. I think because obviously it's late November. Winter is about to start. I'm not sure when winter actually starts in everywhere. It's just some trees that have lost their leaves. So yeah, this is one of the main streets in the Jordan, and here you can buy all your stuff. Like this, here's a cafe. There's lots of cafes, obviously, but there's also like supermarkets and health food stores and news agencies and plant stores. Atos there, Albert Heijn, that's the supermarket. And there's Jumbo on the other side, and I think that's a flower shop coming. Oh no, it's a vet or a pet store. This is my bike. That's my bike. That's my bike. That's my bike. That's my bike. Bike. I love biking in Amsterdam. You can just get it everywhere so easily, so cheaply, and just so comfortably. Like this just fills you up. This process. Oh, and you can see a church in the distance there. Wait, I will tell you the fact later about that church. But this, here we are at the market. So I get off my bike. The Noordermarkt, and that's the Noorderkerk, the North Church. And isn't this incredible? And there's so many people around. Oh yeah, and there's a Krampus. I'll explain that later. Oh yeah, and everyone's walking around. Okay, so before I get into the market, that church that we saw briefly in the distance, not this church, but that church was built by the same architect who built the Rijksmuseum and Amsterdam Central Station. And he has a really distinct style that I really like. Okay, so look at this. I love this building. I just parked my bike, by the way, because now we're going to go on foot. Okay, and off we go. Walking along. And yeah, there you can see on the top right, that's the two towers of that church. And this is a market that sells just about everything, and it happens on Saturday morning and I want to say Monday or Wednesday. I'm not sure which. It could be both. But I typically go on a Saturday because I'm working on the other days. But I like to go, and I mean, I don't buy anything. I just like soak up the kind of atmosphere, I guess, especially on a morning like this. And you can see all these typical Dutch houses, a Porsche, and in we go. So, some chopping boards here. We got some chopping boards. God, I hope you don't hear that. And here's the church. And the thing about this church, right, is that it's four-sided, and each side is equidistant from the others. So it's kind of like you have the priest, I guess, standing in the middle, and he's like, I really like that, like he's in the middle and everyone's around him, rather than at the front, more hierarchical. Okay, and then I ducked under the stop, and there was a little playground in here, which is super cute. I never even knew that. Like, I've been to this market so many times, but like this little girl on the swing here, and like having a good time. And I think that's the Dutch do that really well. There's playgrounds everywhere. Like being a kid in this country, I swear to God, it would have been so nice. Here's a guy doing his deliveries. You know, just everyone going about their work day. And lots of jewelry, beautiful jewelry. So look at those colours. I feel like I'm doing a presentation of a school. Okay, so now we keep walking. Okay, and here's something else I wanted to educate you about. But see these bikes here, these yellow and blue bikes. They are the bikes that you can hire from the Dutch transport company, like the NS, the train company. And they cost like €5 a day. And they're really good bikes, and it's just such a cool, like Australia could never. Maybe one day. Okay, so now we're next to the church, on the back side of the church, and I go up. And you can see the window. Yeah, isn't it just beautiful? And it's so understated. And that's what I really like about it. It's like these like very Protestant Dutch churches that, I mean, a Catholic church is beautiful, but these are really understated, and I kind of like that sometimes. Alright, and up this street we go, and now something that you might notice a little bit is that maybe it's getting a little bit cloudy because it's Amsterdam and it's November. That means something. It means it's probably going to rain soon. It's probably going to rain, which happens every day. because there's a Australian Indigenous artist based here, which is hilarious and really cool. I love that. Like, I say hilarious because I'm Australian, so I've been drawn to it. I think there's literally down that street, there's an Australian flag and an Indigenous flag, but you can't see it. And this is a cute little cafe. Like, imagine you've just gone in this cafe, you're meeting your friends, you know, it's all like old Dutch brown cafe. And you like have a little like tea or a coffee, or maybe even maybe a beer even. Okay, so up along the street we continue. So people unloading some goods. And you know what? I was thinking, like, I'm a little bit peckish, and this whole atmosphere is so nice. So I'm gonna buy myself a crumboos. Now, what's a crumboos, you may ask? So basically, it's a croissant plus a tompoes. Crumboos, croissant. Okay, everyone knows what that is. But a tompoes, what is that? A tompoes is basically a vanilla slice with pink icing. So you can kind of see here how we got that. And I said, like, is this just the ultimate symbol of gentrification? But yeah, it's a vanilla slice with pink icing, and it's Dutch. And then they zombified it, Frankensteined it with a croissant, and it's been this huge like TikTok thing, I think. And they sell it here. I don't know if this is the OG, but I was like, I have to try. I actually got it for my friend. She's French. I got her this for her birthday because I was like, it's you know, a French person in the Netherlands. I thought that was funny. Okay, so now we're just walking a little bit past the market, doing a little block, because there's a second section of this market, which is more like because that was more like the bric-a-brac section. Bric-a-brac section, right? With like your jewelry and your clothes and your crystals. I mean, it did have food, but this is the hardcore part of the market where you go when you're like, okay, I actually need produce for the week. And it goes along this whole street, and it's really, really nice. And it's more like hardcore, as you can see, like a real market, not like a pretty market. And I don't go in there because like to film would be awkward, and it's just super busy. But in the side, take my word for it, there's a lot of stuff going on. But I was just like, no, I'm gonna keep walking. By the way, right now it's raining, and my crumboos is getting really wet because I haven't actually taken a bite of it yet, and it was like wet. Yeah, there's something going on in there, and I'm just like looking in the shop windows for you. What's interesting? Yeah, the quality went a little bit strange here because I think a little bit of like water got on my lens, and yeah, then I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat my crumboos. So now I ate my crumboos, and then I kept filming, and it was good. I would recommend it. I think it's still worse than either thing on its own, which is probably the ultimate test of like whether it was like, you know, they never stopped. They were too focused on whether they could. They didn't ask whether they should, kind of thing. Like, was this needed? But innovation sometimes is fun, and it was a nice experience. Okay, so we keep walking, and now I don't know if you can get your bearings, but to our left is the original market that I took you guys to, and this was that main street that I was talking about, which had all of the shops and stuff. Oh my god! And then so we kept walking, and this poor girl in front, like I just felt like I was like stalking her because I was just walking behind her with my phone filming her. So I was like, I'm so sorry. And so I was like trying to like throw her off the scent that I was, you know, like it looked like I was stalking her. Oh yeah, and there was this like wooden Dutch house that I thought was really cute. And I think this just gives you a really good idea of what west of Amsterdam is like. Okay, so we're still following the girl. Sorry, girly. Some finger flutters. I'm actually getting like really good at these. My hands used to get so tired. Alright, and then we kept walking. Alright, we keep walking along. I'm just gonna check this is actually recording. Oh, thank God it is. Okay. Alright. But anyway, while we walk, how's everyone going? And maybe I can do a little bit of a channel update. so far. I mean, we're really small. It's like tiniest channel. It almost feels like presumptuous to start talking about my channel when it's like 3 videos, but it is fun. It is fun. And I'm just gonna try and upload some stuff more regularly, because then I think that more people get exposed to your videos. I really don't know how to get my videos out there. Like, honestly, maybe if someone has tips for this, they can let me know. Alright, so basically what we're doing now is we're gonna go back to my bike, which I parked somewhere around here, and I wasn't sure exactly where, which always happens in Amsterdam, by the way. Okay, so let's do a bit of University of ASMR while I look for my bike. So in Amsterdam, the reason that these houses are also skinny, that you can see, this is probably like a fact that a lot of people know, but it's because I think you were taxed on the width of your house or the width of your windows or something. So it was much cheaper to build like a skinny tall house that's really long, which is why you get this effect. And there's my house. Alright, so now we're heading back home. And it's raining. And that's my POV. And off we go. And there you can see the pride flag, yes. And you can see the Ukraine flag, yes. And also the West Church, Westerkerk, that I was talking about. And actually on the left there is Anne Frank's house. Anne Frank, the 13-year-old girl who kept her diary. And if you ever have the chance to go to that museum, it's really good. And now we're going along a very typical Dutch canal. But yeah, this is actually the neighbourhood where Anne Frank was hiding in, which is crazy. Like the history of this place. To think that it was occupied is insane. And then you're just walking along these streets, and like, yeah, that's what I love about Europe. There's so much history. Alright, and then down there's a little street. Another little interesting Amsterdam fact is that they're trying to get rid of cars in the city slowly. But as you can see from this video, there's still like a lot of cars, I would say. And the problem with cars, for example, is like, see that white car, like it's perched on the bank of the canal there, and that actually puts a lot of weight. And the whole city is built on these like wooden poles, imported wood from Norway and Lithuania and stuff, that like carries the weight of the city, because it's basically built on a swamp, right? And these, cars, like, I don't know how much a car weighs, but multiple tons, I guess. Pressing on that actually does have an impact over time. So they're trying to figure out how to do that better. And they have these other problems, right? Where the water table is rising. The water table is going down because of too much water extraction. So that means that the ground is drying and then sinking, and a lot of houses having this problem because these big poles, right, that stick into the ground in Amsterdam and hold up the houses, they don't rot. The wood doesn't rot as long as it's submerged in water. But as soon as it dries out and is exposed to air, oxygen, blah blah blah, you do science, I'm sure. Then what happens is it starts to rot and the buildings start to fall. So it's a big problem in Amsterdam right now. Honestly, sometimes when I'm writing about Amsterdam and like you see the puddles that are happening, and all my Dutch friends are like, yeah, that's not normal. It never used to be like that. I'm like, will this city be here in 100 years? I don't know. Like, it's kind of concerning. Low-key. But it is beautiful. Yeah, I actually have a Dutch teacher, and he says, he's like in his 70s, and he has grandchildren, and he says, before he dies, he wants to sell his house and move to the east of the Netherlands because he doesn't think that Amsterdam will be around in the long term, and he doesn't want his parents to give his children like a worthless property. Isn't that insane? I think this is a swimming pool. Alright, and now off we go. And this is kind of the route that I take home from work. So behind me, you go into the city. And now you get a bit of an idea of how crazy I ride as an Amsterdam. And like on my bike, I'm like, this is my exercise. So I'm overtaking the delivery driver. Oh and the mum, I assume she's a mum, in front of me, she has a cargo bike for her children. So the Dutch people, it's often called like a kangaroo bike because it's like a pouch, and the mums and the dads, they put their children inside. It's really cute. I had a similar one when I was a kid. Off we go, and yeah, you get an idea. So a lot of this was like working class housing, and you can kind of see how that was the case back then. But now it's all very gentrified. Don't want to breathe in the mic. Oh yeah, to our left we have another playground, another example of a beautiful playground. Yeah, I think I show you now. Yep, and you can see some of those beautiful buildings. Oh yeah, but what I should tell you too, a little bit about this area is, so I was telling you about the wood, right? That holds up all the buildings. Well, the area that I live, the wood harbour, Houthaven, that I told you about, that's where they actually imported the wood. They imported the wood from Norway, from Lithuania, from Latvia, Sweden, I think. Because it was straight pine wood that was really useful to, and there's actually a saying, Amsterdam is standing on Norway. That's a saying from the 17th century, because it's standing on Norwegian wood. Isn't that insane? But yeah, that used to be a port, and now it's been turned into a residential area very recently, and that's where I live. But I find that interesting how they're really good at incorporating the history of the world, of the city into their urban planning, because the whole suburb that I live in is like wood themed. Like my street has the name of like a region where they got wood from. So it's really well, I don't know, they're really aware of the history, which I like. Okay, so now we're back at the Haarlemmer Poort. So if you recall, that was the gate. There used to be a building here, a gate that ended Amsterdam, and then you would take your boat and you could go to Haarlem and do trade and whatever. Let these people pass. Yeah, let me tell you, riding a bike in Amsterdam is a different experience in the rest of the Netherlands. Like in the rest of the Netherlands and the rest of the world, a zebra crossing is like the person has priority. In Amsterdam, that's not the case. I mean, in practice, because yeah, often bikes just go even when the people have the right of way and they're too intimidated. The people are too intimidated to like take back their spot. All right, so now we're at the intersection again. Oh yeah, this is a little hotel. It used to be the gatehouse because this bridge can raise to let boats through, and that used to be like the bridge. I want to say inspector, but it's more like the bridge guard or whatever. I'm not sure what the word is. All right, here comes a lady up on her bike, and everyone's just chilling, and it was just really nice, honestly. Yeah, but my hands are freezing. I was like swapping hands on the camera because I was holding like this, and then I was like this, and then my hands were just. That's why you can actually see my finger on some of the footage, unfortunately. Alright, so off we go. How are you going up there? Sorry that I'm looking this way, but I need to look at the footage. Alright. So we're biking behind these people. I'm just going to tap on this. And this is my beautiful bike. And then there's a big puddle. That's what I'm telling you. They're everywhere. Area. Oh, there you can see the sign for Spandammerbuurt. That was the area that I was telling you. That's the border into Spandammerbuurt. But we're not taking that tunnel. No. We're going to go into the park. Yeah, do you think I would rob the park experience from you? No. Never. And this is my favorite park in Amsterdam. It is beautiful, especially right now. It's probably the most beautiful it is all year. Like, so vibrant, so green. I think if there was a colour that represented the Netherlands for me, it would be that shade of green of the grass. It's just so lush. It's crazy. And then all the trees with all their beautiful colours. It's very different than Australia, where I grew up, because in Australia, unless it's a European tree, the trees don't lose their leaves in the winter. And also the colours, like the greens in Australia, are much more muted. It's like a eucalypt green, which is like it just reminds me of home, and it's truly beautiful. But it's also nice to see something different here. And I like it. I find this park really calming, and I often come here just to relax. And in the summer, like I read here, or like go here with friends, because it's really close to my house. But we're leaving now. We're leaving the park. So goodbye park. Goodbye Vesta Park. goodbye. And now we're in the Amsterdam West. And this guy's okay. If I ever win the lottery, right? If I ever actually earn some money, I would buy my house here. This is my favorite suburb in Amsterdam, and you're probably looking at it now and you're like, why? Those other ones are so beautiful. But let me tell you why. There is no other suburb in Amsterdam like this suburb. It's tucked away, as you can see, because right there is the railway, and it's tucked away, and it's for that reason it's not very touristic. It's not very touristy at all. And it's very quiet as well. It's very quiet. There's not many people in it, and I really like that in Amsterdam, where sometimes it's a bit like, too many people. And it has the most amazing history, and has a really interesting philosophy behind it. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Spandammerbuurt used to be Spandammerdam, I think, which was a village on the outskirts of Amsterdam, but not in Amsterdam, right? Because we saw the border there with Haarlem port, where the city ended. This was just a village, I guess it's an auxiliary village. Eventually, like a lot of places, like the north of Amsterdam, it got annexed into Amsterdam. Maybe like 100, 200 years ago. And then it was the main site of the Amsterdam School of Architecture and Design. So what you're seeing here, this is all Amsterdam School architecture, and this is the crowning jewel of Amsterdam School architecture. Okay, let me explain. Amsterdam School. It was kind of like a movement, kind of like Art Nouveau, Jugendstil, that era. But it wasn't just like a design, it was a whole philosophy about surrounding working class people who were living in slums at the time with beauty to kind of enrich their soul and make them live dignified lives. And I love it because it incorporates all of these really interesting elements from nature, and it's just beautiful. Like you can see here, do you see on the top left there, like the rivets, sort of the waves? That's meant to connote like a dragon or a snake, like going along. And that's also a museum that we just walked past. But it was built as a living complex, and it had everything. It also had like a kindergarten and a school and a post office and residential. And the idea was workers lived there, and it was so much better than like the slums they were living in. So a lot of this is from that era, as you can see, and it's sort of all built around these big courtyards where people can like socialize, and it's just such a community feeling, and I would love to live here. The only problem is that Amsterdam is really expensive. Alas, that's okay. So anyway, off we go. We're going around this courtyard, and I think the typical style of Amsterdam School is like I was saying, like a little bit of Art Nouveau, but very, very focused around bricks. Incorporates a lot of elements of nature, so that the working class people would recognize these rather than like esoteric Greek literature or whatever that was kind of inaccessible to them because they might not have a classical education. Whereas like if they could recognize like the form of, say, a windmill or animals, like animals that they realize, like a lot of bird imagery, then that like is just a nicer environment for them to live in rather than something that makes them feel alienated. Alright, you know where we are now. We're back home. This is the Houthaven, the woodboard. And now what I love about this is, see that right there, that building. See that? Do you see it? That building. That's also built in the Amsterdam School style, but that building, that's only like less than 10 years old. So Amsterdam continues its heritage, and that means that the whole city, there's nothing you go to so many cities where they're so ugly because they just build these modern stuff that they think looks good at the time, but really doesn't merge with the rest of the city. Whereas in Amsterdam, there's still new stuff, but it's still it still continues the city, and it creates a cohesive experience experience, and it feels like you live in like, I don't know, you live in that place, kind of, and I really like that. It doesn't feel like you just live in like a hodgepodge area. I don't know if I'm explaining that well. Okay, so now we've just passed the school, and now we're coming up, and on our left is the apotheke, the apothecary, the pharmacy in English, the pharmacy. And then on our left here, this is social housing for youth. So for people between 18 and 28, I believe, which is also great because this is quite an expensive area, but then they mix it with different ages and social housing so that you don't just get fully gentrified areas where everyone's rich, because that would suck. And then you get these gated communities, so we don't want that, we don't want that. Okay, and these two buildings, all these buildings are all Amsterdam school style, Amsterdam school. This is a hotel and a cafe. It's my favorite cafe in Amsterdam. It's great. I recommend going there. It's called Vessel. If anyone wants to go, not sponsored. And now we're coming to the pier. And in summer, everyone swims here. And what you see ahead of you is the north of Amsterdam, Amsterdam Noord, which is also really nice. You can take a ferry there. And now I'm crossing my fingers, I'm crossing my fingers because I don't want my back to be swollen, but it won't be. This is a very nice neighbourhood. And that's the hotel. Also beautiful. I always think that those like points look like the heads of ships. I think that was the idea. And yeah, you see the multi-million-dollar apartments. And this is called the Bonsteiger. Fun fact, Brad Pitt had an apartment there. He never moved in, but he bought an apartment. Okay, and now we walk along the pier. And on our left, this was just installed like a few weeks ago. I think it's an art installation. Yeah, and I don't really get it. I don't get it, but I like it. I think the idea is maybe to put like a light on it, because otherwise it's just a fucking stick, right? But it's pretty. I mean, it would be cool if they put like a flag or something on it. But I love here. I often chill here with my friends because one of my friends lives really close here. Alright, and then we have a nice little 360 view. There's the hotel that I was talking about. And that's the end. That's our trip to the market, right? Finn. Okay. I hope that was a nice little video for you all. To give you a bit of an idea of Amsterdam West, where I live. I'm just gonna do some little finishing hand sounds while I do my little outro. But yeah, I'm feeling really good about this. Tell your friends if you think this is good, and tell me if you want to hear more, because I actually really enjoyed filming this. It was a bit different to what I normally do. But there's so much to show of Amsterdam, so much to show. Even just going the same area, there's so much more. So let me know if I should do more.